A ship adrift. No hands on the wheel, no voices in the wind. Just canvas and timber swaying through the Atlantic like a coffin without a name. The Mary Celeste should have been bustling. 10 souls aboard, bound for Italy. Instead, it was silent. The lifeboat was gone. The crew, gone. The captain, his wife, their child, all gone. No blood, no fire, no storm. The sails hung like torn shrouds. A half-mended dress lay folded in a cabin. The ship's log stopped mid-sentence. Time, it seems, had simply stepped off the deck. They called it a ghost ship, not for the creaks in the hull, but for the emptiness, the kind that whispers, the kind that waits. There are theories, there are records, but the truth? The truth sank beneath the waves long ago, and the Mary Celeste sailed on, alone. Welcome to the House of Syx. I'm Jen.
I'm Jared. You're excited.
Oh, I got some stuff to talk about.
Okay.
Doing the voice. I'm gonna stop doing that. You want to talk about our week?
Sure.
What are we doing?
Being stressed.
Why are we being stressed?
Because we're selling our house.
Why are we selling the house?
So many reasons.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Nah, just the market's good.
The market's good. Kids are
Yeah.
moving on out of here.
Yeah.
They're all adults.
I'm happy. I'm stressed as
It's good.
shit.
I'm out of a job. That's
Yeah.
bad news, Bears.
Eh.
That's why I've been talking about being a trad wife, which I'm not. But I'm doing all the things to do it. The smooth jazz, the meal cooking, which I've never cooked before. What do you think about my cooking?
It's going.
Tell everybody.
It's going well.
What do you mean?
It's going really well.
It's yummy stuff.
It is.
It's not bad.
No, I've just always been the cook, and that's a known thing. So
Yeah, because you're a really good cook. And smoker, barbecuer.
I was going to say
What's
I'm
it
not a
called?
smoker at all.
Not like a smoker,
Yeah, I'm
but
not
like
a smoker at all.
Smoker.
But that's only
not a-
rare. We're talking about just normal meals here.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
They're good. But I've been cooking, and I've been doing pretty well.
You have.
I made a roux the other day. Didn't even know what that was a couple weeks ago.
Now you're practically starting a second channel.
Started using cornstarch. Just kidding. I just still don't know how to use it. Oh, no, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing a cooking channel. Everybody would be like, get this bitch out of the kitchen. She doesn't know what the heck she's doing. Because I'm like, let's add carrots. I don't know. That's how I cook.
Yeah. It's going well.
You ready for today's case?
Sure.
You want to know what I did?
Okay.
There is a hardcore mystery for the ages. It is about the Mary Celeste. Ring any bells?
No.
Do you know what I'm even talking
Nope.
about? It's not a person. It's not a woman. It's a ship.
Okay. Sure. Nope.
Got nothing?
No.
Okay. What do you know about ships?
They float.
You're dumb. Some of them do. Some of them don't.
Yeah.
We're not talking about the Titanic. This is not 6th grade, and you do not have a report to hand in.
Yeah, that's good. I don't want to write a report.
I should make.
Is this a Bermuda Triangle thing?
No, the Bermuda Triangle is stupid.
That's what I thought.
No. There is one case I want to tell you out of the Bermuda Triangle. It's not this case. I will tell you one day, and it's not really, it is a mystery, but it's the Bermuda Triangle is, there's no mystery. It is the ocean. And you know what the ocean is?
Large.
Super large. You know what the ocean also is? Scary.
Oh, okay.
Is a very scary
Okay.
place. It's
Okay.
very big and it's very scary. And there are so many mysteries in the ocean because it's big and scary.
Yeah. Or I brought it up.
I know. Right. I figured that you knew how I felt about the Bermuda
Oh,
Triangle.
it's a friendly reminder.
We need a lot of those. Okay. So today we're talking about a ship. It is just a boring, standard 19th century cargo vessel. It wasn't particularly famous. It wasn't large. Not a warship, passenger liner. It wasn't even the fastest boat in the harbor. It was a cargo ship that hauled barrels, and that's it.
Okay.
Wasn't even interesting back in the day. But somewhere between New York and Italy, something happened, and it was found adrift off of the coast of Portugal. And then she earned a nickname, the first one of its kind. She became a ghost ship.
Okay.
But this is not about ghosts. Ghost ships are not ghosts, because we don't talk about ghosts on this podcast. There's no ghost on this podcast. But there are ghost ships. Okay? Right. I also did a thing for this episode, and it's dumb. So you need to be prepared that I wrote a whole bunch of puns.
Okay.
Because I couldn't help myself, because part of the story is a little bit boring. So I started writing puns.
Okay.
Because it's funny.
Thanks for the warning.
Yeah, I'm going to have to warn you, because I felt like if I started talking in puns and then all of a sudden, because I don't normally talk in puns, it's just not a thing that I do. But if I started talking in puns, you'd be like, are you fucking okay? Like, did you have a stroke?
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
So I have some puns in here. And this story has more holes than a leaky hole.
Off to the races.
There's no races.
I don't know. It wasn't.
There's no off to the shipyard. That's not a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, shipyards are a thing, but that's jokes, not. So yeah, I think I spent like 45 minutes writing nautical puns.
Time well spent.
I do really, well, I don't have a job, but also I've spent all weekend. That's what I did yesterday. Yesterday was Saturday. What day is today?
Sunday.
Sunday. Yesterday was Saturday. So 45 minutes writing puns on a Saturday is really not that waste of a time. It's all relative. Okay. Just wait till I sing my nautical song. My sailor song.
Okay, SpongeBob.
I could do it in SpongeBob voice. Anyhow, what do you know about seamen? Do you know any seamen? No, but seriously, do you know any?
No, I do not.
Sailors?
No.
Can you introduce me?
No.
Oh.
No. I mean, I know one ex or retired Navy, but I mean.
Like a captain?
No.
Hi, Captain.
No.
No? Too far?
Yeah.
Okay. We are in the 19th century. We're going back in time, which I spend a lot of time there because I like cases from that period. But we are in the 19th century, and the ocean at that point in time was a completely different wilderness than we have today. Very unmapped in places. The ocean is always unforgiving. And when a ship left port, it entered a world where storms could appear without warning, compasses could spin for no reason, and a message that got sent from one side of the Atlantic may never make it to the other. Obviously, no radios, SOS calls, no rescue teams. If a ship vanished, it was gone for the most part. And the only thing left to tell the tale might be a shipwreck. Enter the Mary Celeste. This was not a grand ocean liner. She was a brigantine about 100 feet long, built in Nova Scotia in 1861. And side note, Nova Scotia is super beautiful. I've actually spent a lot of time there for a previous job, and it is absolutely fantastic. Their lobster hoagies, delicious, amazing apples, who would have thought? And Peggy's Cove was just absolutely delightful. It's a very, very pretty place.
Oh.
You should go.
Yeah.
Have you been to Nova Scotia?
No.
You should go.
Yeah.
We should go. This ship was built for hauling cargo across the Atlantic. It was very practical, tough, nothing special except her reputation. The Mary Celeste was about 100 feet long and 25 feet wide, somewhat small for a ship. Tiny compared to what I use the HMS Victory as an example. This was a first-rate Royal Navy ship of the line, which was 220 feet long and carried 850-plus crew members. The Mary Celeste had a crew of 7, plus the captain's family, and that's it. She was a modest merchant ship meant to carry cargo, not people, not mail, not weapons, no frills, no cannons, zero luxury. So pretty bare bones. Before becoming the Mary Celeste, the ship was originally named the Amazon. That's a terrible name, first of all. And from day one, she seemed cursed. Here are multiple captains dying or quitting under strange circumstances under the name the Amazon. The ship was overhauled, sold, and renamed Mary Celeste. And again, sailors are super superstitious beings, and this is that you don't overhaul and rename a boat.
Yeah.
That is essentially asking the ocean to ruin your life.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So from the get-go, cursed ship. What do you think?
Sure.
Do you believe in cursed ships? Do you believe in curses?
Not really.
Why?
I don't. That makes no sense.
A curse?
Yeah.
Magic?
Magic is only sleight of hand and all that. I mean, that's not... Yeah.
I didn't say magic trick. Magic. Like Wiccan.
No.
Like... What's the... Boil and bubble and toil and trouble
Sure.
or something like that?
Oh, you mean just spells
like
and all that. So
Toad,
just, yeah, I mean,
Eye
like you
of
said.
Newt and Toad Spawn or whatever.
Yeah. Nah.
Fake news?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, voodoo dolls have always been kind of interesting and freaky.
Hold on. So you
that's a
don't
little
believe in
different.
magic, but
Yeah.
you believe in voodoo.
Well, just that,
Or
no,
hoodoo.
just the whole...
That's
you
a
know,
curse?
It is. I didn't say I believed in it. I just think that it's interesting.
Looks like we're going to have a voodoo case
Yeah,
coming
it's
up.
borderline, like, that's weird, some things. But no, overall, no. Give me a break.
I don't believe in magic or voodoo or curses. I don't believe in any of that. Don't tell a voodoo priestess that I said that. Just in case.
Yeah.
All right. The ship was overhauled, sold, and renamed the Mary Celeste. And in sailor culture, that was essentially throwing a black cat under a ladder situation. I don't know all the different superstitions. I'm just going to try
A
to...
bad thing. A negative thing.
It's bad news bears. Yeah. It's bad news bears. And sailors take their superstitions very seriously, at least back in the day. I don't know about today. If any sailors are watching, we only have 4 subscribers right now, but if any sailors are watching, let me know if you still think those. I just had to ask. All right. So by the time that she was renamed Mary Celeste, she was already considered unlucky, but a sturdy ship. She was a good ship. She'd seen storms, survived. So when Captain Benjamin Briggs took over her in late 1872, it didn't raise any eyebrows. This is just business as usual. Briggs was not a reckless adventurer. He was 37, experienced, very respectable, and devoutly religious. By all accounts, he was calm under pressure, careful with planning, and deeply devoted to both his profession and his family. So devoted to his family that he brought them with him, which was not unheard of, but it was still weird. It was weird.
I've got no judgment. I don't know if that was normal or not. I don't know.
No, I'm telling you it wasn't. It was weird.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it makes sense because if you are a sea captain at this point in time, you are gone for months at a time, right? I mean, a trip from New York to Italy was about a month.
Yeah.
One way.
Sure.
So you're gone at least 2 months if you leave your family behind. So that's a long time. I get it, but it's also weird. It was like eyeball-y, kind of weird.
Okay.
You'd be like, you're bringing your family? Sir. Okay. That's what I would say. His wife, Sarah, and their 2-year-old daughter, Sophia, boarded the Mary Celeste with him. 1 woman, 9 men.
Yeah.
2 women, 8 men. Actually, do the math.
Yeah.
Also, a toddler on a ship. toddlers just on a playground are wrought with peril. I don't like toddlers. That sounds bad. I should cut that out.
Yeah, I should not say that.
Look, I don't like other people's kids. I liked my kids when they were kids, but other people's kids? No. Shh, get away. Briggs hand-selected his crew. There were 7 men. They were all experienced. Several were from Nova Scotia, like the ship. There were no reported conflicts, 0 criminal history, no reason to worry. Everything about this voyage looked ordinary. The Mary Celeste, freshly overhauled, her last inspection passed, her sails and rigging were sound, her provisions were enough for 6 months at sea, even though it was a 1-month trip. The weather was clear when she departed, although you never know what's going to happen. There's no radar at this point in time, right. So the most you would know is maybe have a day's advance warning that something might be coming your way if the barometric pressure changed, but essentially, everything looked good. And yet, within 1 month, she would be discovered adrift, seaworthy, intact, abandoned. The public got hooked on this one and never let go. Hooked.
Missed that one.
You got to be ready for it.
I was thinking about,
for fuck's sake,
we thought it was going to be smooth sailing.
Oh, opportunity missed. Let's write puns together. The Mary Celeste set sail from Pier 50 in New York Harbor on November 7th, 1872. She had 10 people aboard: Captain Benjamin Briggs, his wife Sarah, their 2-year-old daughter Sophia, and the crew of 7 men. I can't list them all every time, but they were all experienced, sober, and they were handpicked. They were bound for Genoa, Italy, carrying a cargo of 1,701 barrels of denatured alcohol. Do you know what that is?
No.
It is not for drinking. It is industrial. It's meant for cleaning and fuel, not fun times.
Okay.
It's probably not safe to take a whole bunch of sailors and some alcohol if it's drinkable.
Yeah.
I don't know. These seem like good guys. Maybe not. The voyage was expected to take a little over a month, depending on the weather. A month at sea. Can you imagine? Like today, no big thing because we've got Wi-Fi.
Right.
And I can sit inside on the couch with Wi-Fi for the rest of my life and I'd be fine. But 1 month.
It's a lot. No, I couldn't do it.
No, I'm really scared of being on ships. Like I think about, I've been on day cruises. These don't count because you don't go into the open ocean. I've never been like on a big, long cruise where you can't see land ever and never. Have you? You have?
Yes.
Were you scared you were going to die?
No.
Why not?
It was on a large ship.
But we saw the news the other day with that little girl that was rescued. First of all, a little girl fell off a cruise ship. How did that happen? Nobody knows. Negligence. And then the guy jumped in after her.
Yeah.
How they both lived.
Reports that was her father. Just
well, no matter what, he's a freaking hero, A. But B, there are like 385 people that fall off cruise ships every year, and only like 35 are rescued.
Yeah.
They're not safe.
Yeah.
If we were in a different time period, Amy Bradley, she is a woman that disappeared off of a cruise ship, and she's never been seen again, except maybe she was, allegedly. But that's one of the scariest things I can think of, and all because she went to go smoke by herself one time. And then she disappeared forever. So first of all, don't smoke. That's very bad for you. If you do, you know what? You got to do what you got to do. That's okay too. But you shouldn't smoke. It's very bad for you. But second of all, don't go smoking by yourself.
Yeah.
What?
I'm really going off on a tangent here.
I'm probably going to cut this all out because this is going to be too long if I'm sitting here talking about not smoking. Don't smoke. Yeah. That's all I got to say about that.
Okay.
Also, maybe don't go on cruise ships. And I'm sorry if this hurts the cruise ship industry. It probably won't because nobody's going to listen to me.
Yeah.
Back to the story. We're on our way sailing to Genoa, Italy. I had to look up how to say Genoa because I've never said that before. That's dumb. I think I'm dumb. But anyways, it's supposed to take a month. The Mary Celeste left port a few days ahead of another cargo ship, the Dei Gratia. Gratia. I'm going to say it like a normal person. It was also headed to Europe. The two vessels followed similar paths across the Atlantic, though the Mary Celeste had a head start of about 8 days. This is important, this other ship, the Dei Gratia. 8 days head start the Mary Celeste had, okay? So, fast forward. December 4th, 1872. It's been about a month. The Dei Gratia, captained by David Morehouse, spots a ship drifting off of the coast of the Azores, roughly 400 miles from their destination. The crew watches for signs of life. There are none. There's no distress flag. No one at the helm. Weird. Just this ship gently listing in the wind. The sails are torn, but just a little bit. They're still catching wind. They're not like...
Normal wear and tear.
Not normal wear and tear. More than that, but not hanging ragged from the masts.
Above average normal tear.
Above average wear and tear. It's very likely that Captain Morehouse knew Captain Briggs personally. Both were experienced merchant captains, and once the crew got close enough to read the nameplate, obviously, and the build, they would have realized, holy shit, that's the Mary Celeste. Something's wrong. That would have added, seeing that it was the Mary Celeste, would have added a layer of urgency and confusion. She should have been long ahead of them, not floundering in the Azores. Where are the Azores?
Out there.
Apparently close to Portugal?
Okay.
I don't know geography. Anytime we watch Jeopardy, I nail the history. Art, if it's Harry Potter, I'm for you. I know all of those questions. I know some pop culture. If it's about geography, fucking forget it. Unless it's about Arkansas, because that's where I'm from. That's all I know.
Again, there's one person in the house that gets majority
Oh
of the
my
geography.
gosh.
Yeah.
One time he answered a question on Jeopardy and I was like, that is not it. And it was fucking it. And I was like, I'm dumb. Yeah.
He knows his shit.
He knows his shit. We need to have him on here. And then he's probably going to take over and be like, that's not true.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, God damn it. Now I can't have him on again. Anyhow. So if you say you're a sailor, would you, if you saw a ship just like, would you like be like, oh, we got to go see what's going on there? Would you board the ship? Would you go look?
Yeah. Especially back then.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd be like, fuck it. Nope.
No, you got to go take a look.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Murder ship.
I mean, maybe, but...
Yeah. They all got food poisoning. They're dead.
Okay.
I do not want to see a dead body. I don't think I can take it. Anyhow, the Dei Gratia's crew approaches cautiously. They send a boarding party. They confirm it is the Mary Celeste. The scene on board is quiet. Too quiet. This isn't normal. But there are no signs of violence. There's no blood, no bodies, no fire, no damage. The cargo hold is still full. All but 9 of the 1,701 barrels remain sealed. So you're like, all but 9? What happened to those 9 barrels? When the Dei Gratia's crew inspected the Mary Celeste cargo, they noticed that 9 of the 1,700 barrels of denatured alcohol were empty. But they weren't removed or stolen. They hadn't exploded. They had leaked. Apparently, that's normal. A lot of reports of this story talk about how the 9 barrels were missing. They weren't missing. The alcohol in them was missing, but because it had vaporized off, not because of foul play or anything like that. They just leaked themselves empty. 1 lifeboat is gone. The ship's chronometer, sextant, and logbook are missing, and these are all crucial tools for navigation. What is a chronometer?
Nope.
Okay. It is a very precise clock. an absurdly precise clock used to determine longitude at sea. Regular clocks didn't work well on a moving ship because of humidity, rocking, salt, etc. So maritime chronometers were specially made to keep exact time over long voyages. If you're on a lifeboat playing hide and seek with the sun, it's good to have a chronometer. I don't have a pun for that.
Okay.
That's not a pun.
Yeah.
That's just a dumb joke. What is a sextant?
Strike two.
Oh, you don't have a joke about sextant jokes? You don't have a sextant joke?
No.
Nobody does. It is a tool to measure the angle between the horizon and a celestial body, like the sun, moon, or stars. It is used to determine the latitude, which is the north-south position, and it helps with precise timekeeping if you know how to use it. Nobody does. Yeah. So, like when you picture sailors probably looking at the stars, they're using the sextant to determine what that is.
Got it.
So, essentially, why this matters is because the sextant and a chronometer, with both of those, you could triangulate your position. Not perfectly, but close enough to not crash into a continent or starve to death on the Bermuda Triangle somewhere, which you wouldn't because nothing happens there.
Yeah, right.
At any larger statistical rate than anywhere else.
Right.
I'm just saying. The Mary Celeste was eerily intact. Personal belongings lay undisturbed in cabins. A woman's gown was neatly spread across a bunk. A pipe and a teacup were on a table. There was a sewing machine still threaded beside a child's half-mended dress. The ship still had 6 months' worth of food, water. There was no fire, no blood, no signs of panic. The lifeboat was missing along with those tools, but otherwise, the ship was just quietly floating. Sails had been torn and the rigging was slack, but this was not anything that couldn't have been fixed. It wouldn't have caused them to be unable to sail. The ship's clock has stopped, which that's obvious. No surprise there. You had to wind clocks back in the day. So there was nobody to wind it. Obviously it stopped. But the binacle protective covering of the compass, the one tool that the captain had to trust above all else, was smashed. The compass still worked, reportedly, but it was now exposed to the elements. This couldn't have been weather, because it was, being protected. Vandalism. Like, why would... There was no other obvious damage around it. It was just sat there, broken. One other thing is that a pump sat half repaired on the deck, and it was strange given that the bilge held just over 3 feet of water, which was manageable. First of all, what is a bilge? A bilge is the lowest part of a ship's hull. That would be the area below the floorboards of the deck. Water is going to naturally collect here from rain, condensation, a leak, maybe. This is normal. That water drains down into the bilge, and then it's removed periodically by a bilge pump.
Bilge pump, that's yeah.
Did you know what a bilge pump is?
Yes.
It's a pump in the bilge.
Right.
Obviously.
Yeah.
All right. So 3 feet of water. If we walked into 3 feet of water in our house, that would be bad.
Yeah.
But is 3 feet of water in a bilge bad?
I'm going to still say yes.
So it's not bad. It's not alarming for a ship this size.
I'm alarmed.
You're alarmed?
Yeah.
Well, at this point, you should be. Nobody's on the ship. But for a ship like the Mary Celeste, 3 feet of water in the bilge over the course of days or weeks isn't automatically dangerous. This ship is very deep hulled, and it's cargo heavy. So she wasn't going to tip over or sink because of 3 feet of water. In fact, a ship that size could take on way more than that and still be seaworthy. Merchant ships like the Mary Celeste were designed to carry heavy cargo so low in the hull, and that gave them extra ballast and stability. I don't know what the fuck ballast is. Stability.
Sure.
Whatever. So this sloshing water was not that big of a deal. It would be concerning slightly if the pump was not working. The thing about it is that obviously, if the pump was dismantled, they knew that it was broken, right? So they were trying to fix it because they had this 3 feet of water. But they were only 400 miles from their destination. That is roughly 2 to 3 days of sailing, 5 at most if there is weather. They were really, really close. Even if the ship something was going on and they had a leak or whatever, you wouldn't freak out over 3 feet of water.
Could have made it.
You could have made it. It was still seaworthy. But anyways, it was light, and it didn't really match the crew's reputation that they would have panicked in this situation. They would have been like, oh, there's water, let's fix the bilge pump. And then they would have, Briggs was known to be methodical. His crew was handpicked and experienced. A ship under their care would have looked orderly, even if worn out from the voyage of nearly a month. It doesn't look like the ship was abandoned in panic. And yet, nobody was aboard. Nobody would ever be found. Whatever happened, it happened fast or slow. We don't know. It just happened. Mm-hmm. It's weird. Side note, there are rumors that there was half-eaten meals and on the table, and like everybody sat down to breakfast and then it was abandoned. That did not happen. The galley was clean, it was stocked, it was ready. There were open containers and cooking tools set aside. It looked like meal prep had been interrupted or planning that came to a stop. But you can blame Sir Arthur Conan Doyle for that, among other things. I'll explain it later. This is where the timeline gets a little bit strange, because the last entry in the ship's logbook was dated November 25th, 9 days before it was discovered. The entry placed the Mary Celeste near the Azores, close to where she was ultimately found, so she had been drifting for several days before the Dei Gratia spotted her. There were no storms reported in the area at that point in time. No wreckage, no signs of pirate activity in that area, nothing in the logs to suggest danger. In fact, the final log entry was totally mundane. At 8 a.m., past the island of St. Mary, bearing east-southeast, distance 6 miles. That's boring. They're nearly to Europe, everything's fine, and then they disappear midweek. On a Monday.
Way to start a week.
I am not disappearing on a Monday. It's going to be a Saturday.
Okay.
That's a fun day.
Oh.
It's not a sad day. Mondays are sad days.
Okay.
Well, not anymore because I don't have a job.
Yeah.
Every day is like a Monday. Every day is like either a Saturday or a Monday, and I don't know which one. But I never, from day to day, I don't know what day it is. You're like, what's today? No, you don't say that. I say that. I'm like, what's today? And you're like, it's freaking Thursday. Go get a job. You've never said that to me. Captain Morehouse and his crew split up. Some remained aboard the Dei Gratia, others took control of the Mary Celeste, and they sailed both ships to Gibraltar, arriving on December 13th, 1872, to file for salvage. Now, you might ask yourself, why did they immediately file for salvage? Did you ask yourself that?
No, but I can.
You should ask yourself that. Why salvage first? Why not report it to the authorities?
Try to get rid of it.
No. In the 19th century, salvage was the process. This is what they were supposed to do. If you found an abandoned ship on the high seas and brought it safely to port, you were entitled to a salvage claim. Okay. This claim triggered an investigation automatically, usually by the Vice Admiralty Court, to determine why was the ship really abandoned? Was the salvage legitimate? Was there any foul play? So Morehouse filing for salvage automatically launched an official inquiry. It was not a bypass. This was how the system worked. And the reason that they went to Gibraltar was because this was a British territory with an active Vice Admiralty Court, which had jurisdiction over maritime matters and international shipping lanes. It was the closest qualified legal port for formal salvage hearing. That triggered a formal investigation led by a man named Frederick Solly Flood, a prosecutor who, if we're being honest, seemed a little excited about the chance to uncover a conspiracy. He probably fed into this whole ghost ship bullshit. Solly Flood, he suspected foul play. He believed the crew of the Dei Gratia might have overtaken the Mary Celeste and murdered everybody on board. He went directly to murder.
Right.
Straight out the gate. That seems strange because this is the high seas. Wouldn't you think that automatically you'd think, oh shit, lifeboat's gone. They're on it. We should go look.
Sure.
No.
Murder second.
Murder second. He went murder first.
Yeah.
Straight to murder. And he believed this because obviously they could claim salvage rights. This was a thing. This was not a small time claim. This was a big time claim. It really was. Here's the problem though. Again, going back, no blood, no violence. There's no motive for them to do that. And the cargo, which could have been looted or sold, was completely intact except for the 9 barrels. What are you going to do with 9 barrels of industrial alcohol out on the ocean? Right. You're going to set it on fire, I guess? For what? Fun?
Sure.
Yeah, fire's fun. Don't play with fire. But also fire's fun. Do you know one time my sister, when we were kids and we lived in this house that had an unfinished basement, and I went into the basement with her and I was probably 9, 8, so this would make her 13 or 14. And she took a can of hairspray and a lighter on the walls. And I watched her do it. And it was fascinating. It was very fun. Also, she probably could have killed us. We probably could have burned down with that house. But also fun. Don't play with fire. Anyways. Fact of the matter is, Solly Flood had nothing, but that did not stop him from dragging this to trial for full 3 months. To be fair, suspicion is not misplaced. A seaworthy ship abandoned mid-ocean with no storm, no bodies, no clear cause. I mean, anybody would suspect foul play.
Sure.
I mean, people are crooked. People are crooked. But he did not stop at suspicion. He built an entire conspiracy and straight up accused the crew of the Dei Gratia of murder, theft, and staging a scene. He didn't insinuate it, he said it. And there was no evidence to support it, and the facts didn't fit. And so what does he do? He went harder. He just kept going.
Yeah.
Calm the fuck down, dude. Get a hobby. Take up knitting. Knitting's fun. I don't know. I don't knit. I'm sure it's fun. But the salvagers were not trying to hide anything. They were doing everything the proper way. And there was obviously no evidence of a staged scene. But the Mary Celeste and her cargo were insured for about $46,000 in 1872 money.
That's a lot.
How much do you think that is?
A couple of million.
$1 million today. That's a good payday. So when the crew of the Dei Gratia filed for salvage, they were not chasing some spooky story. That's a solid payday right there. The salvage payout came in at 1,700 pounds. That's decent, but that's nowhere near what the Dei Gratia crew had expected. Today, that's almost $300,000 total. It would have been split between the crew based on their rank and role in the salvage. For example, the captain probably would have received around 425 pounds, which is roughly $70,000 in today's US dollar. It's not nothing.
No.
But that's not exactly murder 10 people and fake an ocean mystery kind of thing.
Yeah, sure pirates did it for less.
The court admitted there was no proof of wrongdoing, but still slashed the reward because, quote, suspicion lingered. Basically, I don't think you did it, but we don't like how this looks. That's weird. So, there was no charges, but they gave him this little piss poor reward.
Yeah.
It was almost like a slap on the wrist, like, here's some money, go away.
Okay.
But also, this looks bad. Get lost. Right?
Yeah.
It's worth $46,000. They got $1,700.
Yeah. That's different. Yeah, it doesn't add up. Well, clearly it doesn't add up.
Math. Yeah. The mystery made headlines. It captured imaginations from the very beginning because the facts didn't add up. You had a good captain, a trusted crew, a safe ship, calm seas reportedly, and then nothing. No message, no survivors, no trace. Lifeboat's gone. That's weird. There was not a clue whether they jumped, fled, taken, murdered, any of those things. So I think that's the part that really sticks, is that the Mary Celeste didn't sink. If she had sunk, we wouldn't be talking about her. No. Sinking ships are not boring.
Right.
Sinking ships. Loose lips lead to sinking ships. Is that the same?
I don't know. It is now. I'm saying.
I think that's a thing. Anyhow, she was perfectly capable of reaching port, and in fact, she did. So it was the people who vanished. There were 10 of them without a word. Theories came later, some reasonable, some completely batshit. But when the Mary Celeste was found, there was no answers, just questions. The facts don't hold water, but the ship did.
Right.
So it did.
Mm-hmm. Just
So I
what
got
you did there.
Now people really went overboard with the theories. Do not.
Keep them coming.
All right. So here's the question that won't die. Why would 10 people abandon a perfectly seaworthy ship in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean and never be seen again? Theory number 1, alcohol fumes explosion. We have 1,700 barrels of denatured alcohol. This is the most widely accepted modern theory, mostly because it's the least absurd of everything that we're about to talk about. But they were carrying the alcohol. It's highly flammable, but it's not explosive in liquid form. If some of the barrels leaked, the fumes could have built up in the hold. Combine that with a spark or a lantern or friction, and, kaboom. Industrial alcohol doesn't burn like whiskey, but its vapors are jumpy. Other ships carrying similar cargo had reported sudden burst of pressurized fumes. Just a whoop.
Yep.
Right?
Flash fire.
Not an explosion, but a whoop.
Yeah.
Maybe a loud whoosh.
Sure.
I'll work on that. It would have caused some panic and concern. That's a concern, a big whoosh. But I don't think they would have feared that the entire cargo was about to ignite necessarily. Can you just imagine that whoop?
Oh, it'd be over really quick. I mean, not your life, but just it would.
Maybe both.
Yeah, it could, but it would happen in a literal flash.
I find that strangely odd, is that it wouldn't necessarily catch fire to anything. It would just and then it's done. The idea behind this theory is that the crew, thinking that the ship was about to explode because of this, abandoned it and temporarily in the lifeboat, and they may have tried to maybe tow behind the Mary Celeste, planning to return, and something went wrong. The cable snapped, or they had drifted too far, or too fast. They couldn't catch up. Who knows? This makes sense because the navigation tools were missing.
Yeah.
It's plausible, yeah, but it has holes. There was no visible fire damage. There were no scorch marks. 0. And even if there had been a blast of fumes, this captain was a veteran sailor. Why would you abandon the most seaworthy vessel around for a rickety old lifeboat? That doesn't seem like something that this captain would do.
And probably had hauled this type of cargo before.
Ah, interesting. No, he had not. This is the first time he'd ever hauled this type of cargo.
Okay.
So he had no experience with it. He may not have known its volatility and activity. Who knows?
Right.
But he had not done it before. Here's the deal, though. This is not his first time at sea. He wasn't prone to panic. And most importantly, he had his wife and daughter with him. I don't think you would load your toddler onto a lifeboat. So I think you would stay with the Brigadier. Theory 2. Seaquake, waterspout, or rogue wave. This is the dramatic one, right? There's a violent tremor or wall of water or cyclone of water, whatever. It wouldn't necessarily need to sink the ship. It would just need to cause enough terror and confusion to force an evacuation. This would explain the water that flooded the bilge. The pump was found dismantled, possibly because they were trying to fix it during a chaotic moment. But even if there was a panic, is panic the time to fix machinery?
Also, why am I going to go from if there's a storm and a rogue wave or whatever, why am I going to get in the tiny boat versus my big
instead
boat?
of a big boat.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, in this version of events, they basically either get in the tiny boat or they say they jump ship and then the lifeboat gets washed out or something. This theory anchors itself in reality, barely. There is no evidence of any violence or trauma, even of the weather kind. Also, I had to look up if rogue waves were real because it sounds fake as shit.
They are.
It's not. Science proved rogue waves are real in the 90s.
Yeah.
So, they have been documented, observed, survived, modeled. They were thought to be sailor folklore until science caught up in the 90s. They are real. In fact, one struck an oil platform in the North Sea in 1995. There was a towering wall of water 84 feet high.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's high. The North Sea is no joke. Have you ever been on North Sea TikTok?
No.
It's the scariest thing you've ever seen. If you're scared of the ocean, I'm scared of the ocean. There are things down there that, not just in the North Sea, in every single ocean, there are things in the ocean that we should not be a part of. And I'm not talking about aliens, although there may be aliens in the ocean. There's not, because there's no aliens on Earth. But there are some scary ass things in the ocean. Those anglerfish and the lighty up invisible things, not invisible, transparent things.
Yeah.
There's some scary things in there. Also, sharks. Sharks are scary. I'm scared of sharks. I don't want to get eaten by one. Anyways, scary things in the ocean. Rogue waves.
Mm-hmm. Add to the list.
Add it to the list of reasons not to go in the ocean. Check. Theory 3. Piracy or foul play. So this is classic. Probably unlikely. The cargo was untouched. Valuables still on board. No signs of violence, struggle, blood. Pirates tend to leave a mess. You've seen the movies. Captain Cook was a scary motherfucker. Blackbeard?
Yep.
Ringing a bell?
Sure.
Scary. There is no known pirate activity reported in that part of the Atlantic during that time. The Atlantic, especially near the Azores, was heavily patrolled, and commercially important steamships and naval power had made high seas piracy extremely rare in the area. However, the compass was smashed. The compass glass. It was smashed. That's sort of violence.
Yeah.
It's a little tiny violence. Mm-hmm. No other violence around it. Or, like, somebody could have just tripped. And, like, oh!
Right.
And, like, fallen into the thing. Like, oh no, that would have made blood. Well, they're carrying a cup, and they trip. And it smashes the glass. And Captain Briggs is like, what the fuck?
Right. That's all I got.
But anyways, the compass was smashed. So that's weird. Some version of this theory try to point the finger at the Dei Gratia, the crew who found the Mary Celeste and claimed salvage. Maybe they staged it. Maybe they intercepted the Mary Celeste, killed the crew, and made it look like abandonment. This was a valuable ship with cargo. leaving it adrift would have been a waste and a hazard.
Yeah.
All that alcohol. The problem with this theory is that if they had anything to do with it, is that the Mary Celeste left port a full 8 days ahead of the day E Gratia. Both ships were roughly the same size and speed. This could not have been a chase scene. It was all about wind and weather. There was no way they could have caught up with them. That theory sinks under its own weight. Yeah.
Thank you.
Despite getting shorted on the salvage, the De E Gratia crew, they didn't appeal. They didn't protest. They took the money, even though it was a third of what they expected, and they noped right out of there. They had to wait 3 months to get it in the first place. They had to stay there 3 months through this entire investigation of the Solly flood that was making up all these stories about them. They were just like, just give me my money. I gotta fucking go.
Yeah.
I was late to dinner 3 months ago. God. Some theories, they set sail with confidence, but then they just sink. That wasn't the best one. Theory 4. Mutiny. Simple. The crew turns on the captain. Maybe harsh conditions. Maybe he's a little too devoutly religious, if you know what I mean. They don't want to go to Bible study anymore. Maybe they're all hopped up on alcohol fumes. They're panicked. They're superstitious as fuck. So they kill Briggs, they take the lifeboat, and they escape and disappear for evs.
Mm-hmm.
There's still no sign of violence or blood or panic or anything like that. The crew were all upstanding sailors. They had no discipline issues, conflict in their background. In fact, Briggs hand-selected them. The chances of them mutinying, no sense. And furthermore, you'd leave signs behind of, why would they mutiny and then clean up after themselves? They're not going to be on the first 48.
Okay.
There's no DNA. Why would they clean up? There's no reason. Why are you doing that? Anyways. It's possible. But this theory doesn't float. Yeah. All right. So theory 6. What do you think this one is?
Sea monster.
Boom.
Yeah, I've been waiting for the sea monster.
Paranormal.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is called a ghost ship, so you knew this was coming. Cursed ship, sea monsters, aliens, portals, spirits. They removed the crew without a trace. But I mean, really? Why? That's dumb. Okay, the ocean is a scary place. There are scary, scary things there. But I don't think krakens are real. Everyone's just fishing for answers at this point.
Gotta find you something else to do on a Saturday.
Let's try to navigate to the truth.
Okay.
What do you think happened?
They left that boat. They left in the life raft.
Why?
Right. I don't have a good reason.
Bizarre, right?
Yeah, I don't have a good
There's
reason.
no good reason.
Yeah.
There, even if the whoosh of the vapor explosion. Why would you leave the boat? I know you'd panic. You'd hear the noise and you'd panic. You would I would scream. I scream. Just you walk in the room. You're like, hey, and I'm like, ah. But that aside, why would you leave the boat? You'd panic, but then you'd look around and you'd be like, she's still fucking floating.
Right.
Don't fucking go.
Yep.
No. Right?
Yeah. You would think.
Why did they leave the boat?
We'll never know.
We will never, ever, never, never know. That poor baby at sea. That's some sad shit. She's a little baby. She's only 2.
Yep.
Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I'm not a huge fan of unsolved mysteries at all times, but, so.
What does that mean?
We'll never know, so therefore you just don't know.
Some mysteries are fun.
They can be, yes.
A ghost ship is fun. 10 people disappeared, and that's super. I mean, I have to assume that the 10 people died
Right.
at sea.
Right.
That's horrible. It's horrifying. Yep. The Mary Celeste was not supposed to be famous. She didn't even sink. And yet, she has become one of the most enduring legends of the sea. At the time, the story made headlines across Europe and America, partly because it was just so bizarre, but also because nobody could really agree on what actually happened.
Right.
And that ambiguity created a vacuum, one that was filled with rumor, fiction, and fear. Enter Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Who is that?
Sherlock Holmes.
It is Sherlock Holmes. All right. So in 1884, he published a short story called J. Habakkuk Jephson's Statement. This was a fictionalized account that turned the Mary Celeste into a murder mystery. Because of course it did. Like, dude. Anyways, he changed the ship's name to the Mary Celeste. It was a mistake that stuck. And added a homicidal sailor, a cover-up, and a whole shit ton of drama. It was
Out to make a buck.
that guy. It was actually well written because it's Doyle. This case was already really weird, but Doyle really rocked the boat with it. Yeah. Anyways, so essentially he fanficked the Mary Celeste. And after that, the Mary Celeste became shorthand for Mystery at Sea. She has appeared in novels, radio plays, documentaries, sci-fi shows, horror movies, because of course, she was even on the episode of The X-Files. And now the House of Syx, obviously. After all of this, the Mary Celeste limped through a dozen forgettable cargo runs, passed from owner to owner. In 1885, she was bought by a man named Gilman Parker, who did what any enterprising crook would do. He packed up the ship with junk, insured it for a frickin' fortune, and then ran her aground off the coast of Haiti in one of, has to be the clumsiest insurance scams in maritime history. He was charged with fraud, not convicted. He died a few months later in poverty and completely disgraced. What a dick. So, today the Mary Celeste is remembered not because of what we know, but because of what we don't. When you strip it all down, you remove the poetry, ignore the theories, toss out the ghost stories, what are you left with? The truth is, the Mary Celeste wasn't famous when she was found. It was just another abandoned ship in an ocean full of wrecks already. The crew likely fled for a perfectly logical reason, though clearly mistaken and tragic. They probably died quietly, somewhere out there in the water. There was no monsters, no madness, just terrible misjudgment.
You hope.
What does that mean?
You hope they died quietly.
Oh, I mean, you never know. Yeah, there's some stories, definitely. Yet this ship became the ghost ship. It became a blueprint for 1,000 stories. And I have to assume it's because people just crave mysteries. It's strange and it's weird. I don't think we elevated this story because of the facts. We elevated it because of space in between. It was ordinary right up until the moment that wasn't.
It wasn't, right.
Right.
All I know is I gotta get busy with booking our cruise.
I think you're going to be going on a cruise by yourself. Nope. So that's it for this voyage. The sails are down, the sea is calm, and whatever truth was hiding out there, it's keeping its secrets for now. It's nice, yeah.
Well done, well done.
Thanks for drifting through this mystery with
they
us.
Keep on coming.
We'll be back next week with another strange story from the dark corners of history.
Awesome.
Awesome. And the sea, it never forgets. Bye.
Bye.
All right. Safe travels, sailor. Am I going now? Yeah, get out of here. If If you enjoyed this episode, please like and subscribe. We really appreciate your support. And if there are any cases that you want us to cover, please reach out to us at houseofsyx@gmail.com. We'll try to fit it in. Thank you. Some mysteries deserve a second look, and that's exactly what we give them in our Patreon bonus content. Join the Keyholder tier for historical rabbit holes and alternative theories. That's patreon.com/houseofsyx.
Dead men tell no tales at sea, their boats are dry, their bones are free. A silent deck, a drifting gale, no captain left to chart the sail.